Hey everybody, Nathan Lyle here to bring you another anime corner, this one for the fall 2014 simulcast. If you didn't see the other video I had explaining this, I have taken all of the anime that I watched, because I watched about 30 different anime for this simulcast, and I put them into little segments based on what type of anime they were. This first one is period anime, because these all take place in a period of time before modern technology. There's no cell phones, no televisions, no laptops. So we'll start with Madan no O to Vanadis, Lord Marksman and Vanadis on Funimation, and it's basically about, it takes place in kind of just medieval type times. You got people with armor, magical weapons, there are dragons, and some guy who can shoot an arrow and take out a dragon with just that one arrow. And it's about all these different countries and stuff that are waging war against each other, and it's an interesting one. I loved it from episode 1. There's fan service. If you like that, it's great. If you don't, it can be a little distracting. It's a bit over the top. It's a little much, but I like boobies. And it's got a great story, good action. It's got good comedy spread here and there throughout. The biggest gripe I have about it is that it does move a little fast. If you're not paying attention to it, you can get a little lost. But if you just make sure to pay attention to what's happening, you won't miss too much. And so yeah, this is one I can easily recommend. Then there's Shingeki no Bahamut Genesis, which is Rage of Bahamut Genesis on Funimation. And I loved it at first, but in all honesty, somewhere along the way I just stopped caring. And it's got great action and stuff, but nothing about it really hooked me enough to make me love it. It probably has a great story, but it's not something you can watch passively. If you're not paying attention every single second of it, you get completely lost and you basically have to start over from the beginning, otherwise you won't understand anything that happens the rest of the story. And so for that reason, I can't necessarily recommend it, but if you want to check it out, it's a pretty decent story. But I don't know, it just, for me, it dragged on a few episodes too long, and I just somewhere along the line stopped caring. But that's just me. I was also watching this in the middle of the school year, and with my internship and test papers I had to write and all this other stuff. So this one just kind of ended up being in the back of my mind. I didn't love it enough to pay as much attention as I needed to, which is why I'm not recommending it. But it does not suck. It's a good anime. I just don't feel like I got the most out of it. And then there's honoo no Kokuin, which is Garo The Animation. And this is a great anime. It's got a lot of comedy spread throughout. It's very good overall. It's got funny moments, good action. It's got a great storyline if you're paying attention to it. It's a weird story about there are these witches and these Makai knights, and they're fighting terrors, but they're being chased after by the government because some high-ranking official says that they're evil, who are destroying the world. But really, he's just trying to get rid of them so that he'll be free to fill the world with these terrors. And it's all a very interesting thing. So yeah, that one's worth checking out, definitely. And then you've got Donten the Warau, Laughing Under the Clouds on Funimation. Great story, but hard to sit through. It's got a very serious tone, and it's overall pretty dark. There are some moments of comedy and stuff in there, but overall, it's one of those. It's one of those where it's a good story. It felt more. I don't know the right way to describe it, but it's just. I didn't necessarily enjoy it, but there are some good twists and turns that kept me just interested enough that I was able to keep going back. I enjoyed it overall. I feel like it was good enough anime that I don't mind recommending it to people who are interested in this type of story. And then there's Akame Ga Kill, which you can find on Crunchyroll. It's basically Game of Thrones, the anime. You really don't know who's gonna die. In all honesty, everyone that you see in episode 1, they're gonna be dead. Everyone. Don't get attached to anybody. And then there's Akatsuki no Yona of the Dawn, which you can find, last I checked, both on Funimation and Crunchyroll. It's a good story, but it's still got a long way to go. I won't say it's amazing, but it is worth taking a look at. It's got a lot of potential. The story, it's taking its time to develop. You know, it's really taking its dear sweet time. Everything is very long and drawn out, very deep explanations. Good news is there's nothing confusing about it at all, because they take 30 minutes to explain one little fact that you could have had in, like, you know, a little 2-minute conversation between two people. But whatever. I loved it. I enjoyed it, everything about it. There's enough action sequences that it's not boring. There's some romance, there's some romantic interest here and there. Overall, it's just like, it's one of those that I'm still kind of waiting to see where it goes. Don't necessarily love it yet as much as I am just interested in how it progresses. And so, out of this segment, I'd say my 3 favorites. Number 1 favorite, definitely Akame Ga Kill. It's just an amazing anime. Then number 2, Lord Marksman and Vanadis. And then I'd put number 3, Yona of the Dawn.